Team 2.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joey Balderas, and I'm the head of operations at InStaff Personnel. Tonight I have with me a few of my colleagues, our controller, Tanner Novak, our head market analyst, Roswell Garcia, and our head of public relations, Sal Samani. Say hello, guys.
Hello. Hi.
See, they're cool. Now, I want you guys to imagine yourselves as an armed service member, separating yourself from active duty. You're so thrilled about some of the military skills you've acquired, and all the vigorous training that you went through, knowing that you were successful in completing, straining your spirit so much. You're so thrilled, you're so excited, pumped up, ready to get back into the real world and start your brand new job as a dishwasher at a cafe. Wait a second. A dishwasher at a cafe. See, I can't imagine anyone being excited about that at all. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a reality. Sometimes this is life after success. Back in 2005, I was waiting tables at a cafe in Salina, Texas called Lucy's. There was a gentleman that walked in about 3 or 4 times. His name was Josh. Josh was having trouble landing employment for the previous 3 months. Now, 3 months without work, that is a long time. And so my boss finally decided to take a chance on him and started him as washing dishes. Me, myself, I'm still in high school. I'm just a kid. He has a wife and a kid of his own to support, and come to find out he's a veteran. Now, that just blew my mind. How is it that Josh unselfishly committed part of his life to defend my freedom, and now he is back, and we are here in the exact same spot in our careers? For me, that's just scraping for a little bit extra cash. For him, that's making a living. And I just don't get it. Veterans have so many traits that are so attractive to employers. They have leadership, they have discipline, they have specialized skills in information technology and healthcare. But what they typically do not have is less civilian work experience. And so a lot of companies, that makes the biggest difference. So big that they are less likely to take any risk when hiring. So in our proposal, we want to address any of those experience and skills mismatch that may exist and transition our heroes from the workforce, from the armed force to the workforce. Now let me hand this off to our head market analyst, Roswell Garcia, to give you a little background details of some of the veterans here in the DFW.
So thanks, Joey, for that introduction and really touching story around Josh and his life after success. There is just to put in perspective kind of the outline and the numbers in DFW, there's over 350,000 veterans in the DFW area. There's over 1 million veterans forecasted to actually retire in the next 5 years. There's a study done by the USC School of Work that is actually expected to have 80% of veterans with no jobs after they leave the military, and half of that won't have any living arrangements. It's actually really a tragedy to understand that's the reality today. Some issues that veterans face today are issues like PTSD, injuries and disabilities, health issues, education, family struggles, poverty and employment. So with that said, and a little bit of background on the veterans today, I'll pass this off to Sean to tell us a little bit more about our organization and the organization we'll support.
Thank you, Roswell. My name is Sean Samani. I'm head of public relations over at InStaff. We hire employees based off skills and experience. Over at InStaff, we understand the importance of job placement tailored to your qualifications, and there's nothing that excites us more than helping those who have served us get into jobs. Which is why we've partnered with Allies in Service. Allies in Service is a non-profit network of Allies in Service is a non-profit network of support for veterans who just came out of serving that helps them with areas such as housing and employment. Allies in Service provides resources for veterans to help them take the next step of their lives. I'll now hand it off to Joey, who's going to tell you more about our plan.
So our plan. We wanted to come up with a plan to raise money and create a resource that veterans can go to address some of those experience and skills mismatch that can help Josh enhance his life and gain meaningful employment. So how did we want to do this? We wanted to come up with something fun, something to look forward to, and that could possibly come into an annual event. So what better way than to organize a festival? Now, in our festival, the location of it, we wanted it at basically the heart of the DFW area where we want our cause to take place, which is at Lynn Creek Park. Right here, northwest of Joe Pool Lake, there's 784 beautiful acres. There's about 100 picnic tables. There's brand new white sand beaches all around. And then there's a little pavilion area that would be perfect for a stage to host such an event. We will have all the family recognizable games such as ring toss, balloon darts, and but most importantly, we wanted the veterans to come out and get a little involved. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to have like a mini obstacle course for the kids. We wanted to have activities such as mini rock wall climbing and mini ropes course instructed and supervised by some of the veterans themselves. Guest speaker, as Sean mentioned, that we're partnering with Allies in Service. A little more is that Roger Staubach founded Allies in Service. So we will have legendary Dallas Cowboys quarterback Roger Staubach come out and speak a little bit about the importance of providing our veterans with resources. So, like I said, they can enhance their lives and find meaningful employment. Food, we will be inviting about 20 plus restaurants, small chains and small privately owned foods. They will be showcasing their foods. It will be a perfect opportunity for them to come out and give to such a good cause, as well as marketing their brand. Live bands, we will, with our music, you know, we would like to have entertainment, so we will be playing veteran country-based bands all throughout the day. So far, our lineup includes the Banjo Snipers and the 57th Platoon. And last but not least, we wanted to host a clothes drive as well. We wanted to provide something for some of the smaller veterans to, you know, just give them some proper business attire and help aid them in their search for employment. So we will be collecting hand-me-down button-ups, belts, slacks, shoes, and also be providing an incentive to the public, which will be admissions and which will be a discount on admissions. And so, speaking of admissions and costs, let me hand this off to our controller to speak about some of the financial figures we're looking at.
Thank you, Joey, for that. So my name is Tanner, and I'll be speaking to you about the budget. The first and most important thing about an event is the income and the profit. Where are we getting our revenue from? So our revenue will be coming from ticket sales, and also the businesses, and when they come, they'll be reserving the booth, and when they're reserved, we'll be asking them to do what's called profit sharing. We'll be asking them to donate 40% of their profits to our organization, which will in turn be given back to Allies in Service to help with their cause. So we're expecting about $16,000 in revenue from that. To host our event, we'll also need some expenses. Our employees, we're expecting to spend $4,655 on them. That'll cover the employees to help run the event, to set up, to tear down, to keep the event flowing, as well as the employees needed to run the ticket booths. That employee spending amount will also cover EMS staff that'll be on hand in case of any emergencies. It'll also cover any security personnel that'll be there in case any issues might arise. Our rent, we'll be spending $4,000 on the park. That'll cover the booths needed for the ticket sales, as well as like a little booth to help do the closed drive. It'll also cover the porta potties that we might need, or we will need, to keep the event running smoothly. Our advertising, we're going to spend $1,750 on it. That'll allow us to hire an employee to help kind of create an event page on social media and kind of get it out through social media. It'll also allow us airtime on local radio stations to help get the word out through radio. We need a special event application fee. That'll cost us $250 through Dallas County. That'll allow us to actually run the event and make sure we don't get fined or penalized or even shut down by the police for not having the proper authorization to host it. The bands, like we said, will be for free. They won't be charging us because, one, they'll be getting promoted through the community by everyone coming, and two, we'll be allowing them to sell t-shirts, CDs, any other memorabilia or items that they might have, and they get to keep the whole profit from that. We won't be asking for any of that. So that comes out to our total income being $16,000. Our total expenses is $10,655, which leaves us with roughly a profit of $5,345, which we'll be giving back to Allies in Service to help them fund any issue or help fund any services for the veterans and any issues that might arise. And now I'll be passing it back to Roswell for our conclusion.
So as we conclude today, we really want to reflect back on some of the things that we talked through this presentation. But the one thing that we really want to take away from this is that there's a dire need to help our veterans transition from military life to civilian life. This initiative is really important, just for the community, but personally for everyone in this room. And we believe that by partnering with the Dallas Regional Chamber and us covering 50% of the costs as well as them covering 50% of the costs, we can make this program a huge success. It will help families like Josh, his story earlier, and his extended family. But on top of that, it will help many families across the nation, especially from the DFW area, and to help them achieve their goals of life after success. So with that said, we will turn over to the floor for questions, if you guys have any. Yes?
How many ticket sales are you expected to sell?
Ticket sales, we're expecting roughly 4,000 attendees, and we're hoping that each attendee will spend roughly between $5 or $10, and when we get 40% of that, so that gives us about $16,000 sales.
Thank you, Team 2.